A very good evening to all of you, to the Fireside Chat show of the MBA Department of Swami Vivekananda Group of Institutes. Today, our guest of honor is Mr. Ashish Banka, who is the People Leader North India Compass Group. Apart from that, actually, he is having a lot of other credentials. Like he is having more than 12 years of experience in the HR domain. And he is also the founder member of HR Sampark and the national president of HR Sampark. So we are privileged enough to have Ashish at our show. Welcome, Ashish, to our Fireside Chat show of the MBA Department of Swami Vivekananda Group of Institutes.
Thank you, Amita, for this generous introduction, and I'm glad to be at your show, especially when I remember that a few years back, my first interview was also taken by you and penned down, and it was on a various topics. So it is great to be here with you, and definitely having some impact to the Youngistan.
Yes, right. So yeah, major objective is to definitely, so that the majority of the students, specifically the management and the engineering students, should get benefited. And the greater community itself, not only associated the students of our institute, it would be available to everybody and anybody. So definitely they are going to be benefited with your enriched experiences. So to take this opportunity, actually, I have jotted down few questions for you. So I'll be asking one by one. So number one question is which is relevant for the present situation, that there are a lot of users, lot of news that is coming up. That is due to this lockdown and the COVID-19 pandemic situation. Most of the F&B, that is food and beverage industries, are getting affected. So what's your take on that? That is how this is impacting the food and beverage industries or the hospital and the hospitality industry specifically.
Yeah, it's definitely, I believe, thank for viewers. I believe all of you are safe, and thank you for, giving me this opportunity to present the insights. I absolutely agree, Amitabh, that I myself belong to a hospitality industry, and we are world's largest food processing unit based out in headquartered in UK, and we deploy more than 6 lakhs people in India. We have operate around 45 cities, 25,000 people. We itself, we give catering services to healthcare institutions and your corporate offices and manufacturing. Hospitality industry, yes, it has been impacted deeply, because we need to understand this COVID and us are directly proportionately related, because COVID says to maintain social distancing, whereas hospitality industry itself is all about social impact. So
right.
if a pandemic impacts that you cannot get in touch with people, especially us and events industry, people who give, they really impacted, and it will boil down to the last mile of the corporate or the company. We have been impacted, hospitality industry, especially hotels, catering units, travel, and your event industry. These generally come into the banner of the hospitality segment, which has been deeply impacted. There have been layoffs in few of the companies. There have been cuts, and all of them are indecisive that what will happen, because the lockdown, as we come to know, that lockdown was extended till 31st of May. And still there is no signs of these units to be open.
Right.
But it is, the time that this is all unprecedented. So we had recession, we had attacks. All of these are unprecedented, and as we go forward, it is a human psychology and Mother Nature's benefit that we evolve to all the awkward situations which come. So the companies have taken a step back. They have stalled their operations. There is no revenue flowing. Most of them are using their surplus to sustain and keeping themselves with a different alignment of business. Like our industry, they have gone back, and we have partnered with certain equipment manufacturing companies so that we can sell these equipments to the clients who are not even taking it in terms of food, but they are starting with alternative operations of infrastructure in terms of equipment, which can be a sanitizing dispensing machine, which can be a mask, giving, which can be shoe. So all these are there, alternative things organizations are preparing. Most of them have got the think tank together, and they are preparing in terms of an alternative platform to cover up this. But yes, has deeply impacted, and the impact will remain for next 6 months, because even if we start operations, it will be with a reduced headcount, which will be reduced footfall of the packs coming to the units, and also in terms that the revenue will not be as it was. So maybe when we step into the next half of this fiscal year, we will see that hospitality industry will come to at a point where corona and they coincide each other. One thing we need to remember, that everything is based on hospitality. Hospitality is nothing but the good behavior where people look out for good service.
Right.
And that requirement of people in terms of leisure industry and their business will not go absolutely flat. There can be a there is steep spike is there, but it will not go at a flat. It will not like a ECG report where it comes to a stagnant. There will be a spike up, but we'll see a good spike up.
True. Right. So, so that's the thing. So, what I have understood from your explanation, that there is a lot of challenges ahead, and it is deeply impacted. But definitely there are business process re-engineering processes are there. So shifting the business process into different avenues, so that the company can sustain and revive and tackle the situation. So that's when coming, from this answer only, there is another speculation, or there are some reports that nearly 40% of the restaurant in India may be closing down. Because they will not be able to handle this kind of crisis if the sufficient measures are not being taken by the government end. So what do you think? What are the things that the government should do, or this restaurant should do post pandemic or the post lockdown, so that they do not have to shut down or something? What are the strategies, or what do you think about that?
Good question, but I also remind me that we can't stop eating. When you say restaurants will close down, we always realize that food is one thing. When we always say basic necessities of life, there were 3 food, waters, food, shelter, and in terms of clothing. Now the 4th one is rent, by which we are so close. I look at it, it's not about restaurant, Amitabh. It's about in terms that how do we look at this situation. Hospitality industry is deeply impacted. If you ask me in a generic view, I don't see a closure of anything. Government has taken sufficient measures. They have extended the moratorium, given moratorium for 3 months. Even most of the restaurants generally are not of a self payout. They are either on a rented space or they run on loans. So most of them, this question would have been that hotels, 5-star hotels, which have such a huge expenditure of infrastructure and maintenance cost. Fixed operating cost can go to 0, but fixed cost will always be remain, especially when there is no income. So that reflects in the negative balance sheet of the account of that company. I don't see any closure. See, closure happens when you dilute a business, or when you say that I am totally bankrupt. I cannot sustain my fixed cost expenses. That can happen to a restaurant, that can happen to a company, that can happen to a hotel, that can happen to any industry or any company. Maybe in my experience, in the limited, whatever the experience I have gained working with different industries, especially last 2 years, hospitality is my 5th industry. I work with manufacturing, telecommunication, airlines, hospitality, and pharma. I always see that in an organization, especially as a role of a HR business partner, how can we contribute to the profitability or reducing the expenses of a company? Any individual who joins a company will always look that if he, in this crisis period, reduce the costs. So let us understand how can we reduce the cost, and we can take some measures which will enable us not to a situation where we have closed down and we lose jobs of the individuals. So one thing is, let us understand what is the fixed cost. Fixed costs are your, one is your labor cost and another is your food cost. With operating cost going less, most of the labor cost, how can you reduce if a company cannot pay its employee. I am strongly against it that they should lay off anybody. See, I think scenario, the worst thing what we can do is we should lay off anybody. That is not absolutely inhuman thing. What we can do, people can call out the support. So one thing they can do is reduce the salaries, voluntarily forfeit the paid leaves of the staff, and give them a minimum sustenance allowance which can help them to sustain for this period until they reinstore their salaries, the same salary after they have opened up. Some companies, if they are not able to reinstate, give them a proposal of revised CTC by reducing their salaries for this entire fiscal year. Third thing, for business cost, you have electricity cost zero, whatever the operating cost which was there, anyways, government has given a 3 months waiver in terms of giving away the rent of that infrastructure.
Okay.
So organizations should at this time also start rethinking in terms of business strategy. That can you take your business offline to online? That is called O2, which we used to do in e-commerce business in Reliance Jio. So can you take your business offline to online, and can you come back with introduction of automation? Can you come back and reinstore the generation of funds? I give you an example. Suppose e-commerce we are talking about. Now the vendors who are selling, I'll take a simplest of example. Now we can say all people are migrants are working, vendors are not able to sell their stuff. If vendors can move on to a WhatsApp and they can spread across that I am selling this is the amount, I will deliver to your home and you pay me through Google Pay or Paytm.
Right.
Many of us are using it, but this is a simplest example of using an offline model to online.
Right.
Today we are the 60th day, technically, what I recall of our lockdown. And in 2 months, Zoom, talking webinars, see, when we look at COVID's impact in a negative way, there are a lot of positives also. People have got the time to spend with their family. People have got time to, nature has taken a rebirth. Technology has moved in place. So every business, especially whether it is hotels, restaurants, hospitality, needs to progress towards automation. The more they automate, if we keep people-dependent process and system, at one point of time, either due to COVID or either due to bulgari or forgery or theft, when people emotions overtake there, it will happen. It is just coincidental that COVID had happened, but I take this as an opportunity for all the business and especially the young individuals who are there with us. They need to can take this utmost important. We have two choices in life. Either we keep lamenting and saying, "Bahut bura ho gaya," or either we say, "This is the situation. How do I fight back?"
True.
Lockdown has people all have been suffering. Anybody is, even if you talk about riches to riches, they are locked up into a room, and then they are, they cannot take that flamboyant life which we're supposed to do.
True.
So in is impacted, let us take it in the other way, that this is the situation. How do I turn, into a positive way and move forward? But yes, organizations, to answer your question in one last line, that they need to take sufficient measures to reduce their fixed cost and to increase their alternative income.
Right. So actually, the one of the point that you have bring, that is offline to online mode. So that is one of the strategic way that all the companies may be thinking of, that how to take their business online. Definitely demand are there, but due to this kind of lockdown that they are not able to sell. So we need to identify the ways how can we reach the customer. So that's the thing. So that's a very good point actually, and definitely the HR point that you have discussed about regarding how to not to reduce the number of manpower, terminate them, not to lay off them, but rather take some alternative strategy so that we are giving them some basic sustenance allowances. So that is really very good idea actually. I think all the companies, they should take care of that. One of the recent example we can think of, that one of the company, I'm just not taking the name, that one of the company have increased the salary as well for their employees. So these examples, the positive examples are also there. So coming back to the next part, because as you are associated with the telecom industry as well for a couple of years in Reliance Jio. So Reliance Jio recently have introduced with that Facebook tie-up, that Jio Mart model during the lockdown. So what's your take on that? Definitely that we have already discussed about the O2 to, this offline to online model, but how strategic it is from the point of view of the Reliance to launch right now, during lockdown.
Question is really close to my heart because I was spearheading the GeoMart when it was
Okay.
conceptualized and rolled out.
Okay.
Unfortunately, so I was first year into telecom and second year I was into e-commerce space of Reliance Jio. So e-commerce, e-commerce, what we call at that time it was Kirana. So
Okay.
the GeoMart was conceptualized and we had done around hiring of around 600 odd people before I left Reliance and joined Compass. It's a fantastic model. Though it is not a unique model, there are competitors in terms of Udan. There are competitors in terms of other, small size companies. Now Flipkart and Amazon has also come into. Grofers was there. Swiggy has come into play. So this is not a unique model, but yes, compared when we say about Jio, one thing about Reliance Industries is absolutely phenomenal financial backup, and second is the ability to diversify and expand in no time. Because when we look at business expansion, what do we require? Suppose if I start my business and if I have to expand, I need to have resources, I need to have money, and I need
Right.
to have material. So money, manpower, and material. These are the three things which generally we
True.
require. Geo does not have dearth of anything. And
Right.
especially
True.
Reliance Industries, especially the vision of the respected MDA in terms of the expansion of this business was very close. Geo taking this heads on we will see GeoMart the new age, and it will eat away other parallel business like how Geo has done. But only thing is, as Indians, we need to realize that this is a model where, especially Youngistan, I find when I was in Calcutta, I find a lot of people, coming up with innovative ideas of business. So while Geo, is also launching the same and taking benefits out of this lockdown, this we need to have a strategic learning from this business
True.
rather than appreciating, because Geo's success ideally neither benefits me or you and neither anybody. It will benefit the people who are working, it will benefit the owners. But
Right.
as people on the other side, what do we need to learn from everything? What I see, I need to see, what business concept or what best practice have we learned. With
True.
GeoMart, what we can see is any dream, anything we cannot say it is not possible. That is one. Second, the business model offline to online, since it has started, it is a perfect example. It is a recession-proof business, both
True.
telecom and GeoMart. Even if we are at homes, we need to recharge our account
True.
for calling. And even at our home, even though we are deserted island, even if we are without clothes, without water, we will require food.
Food. Right. True.
So it has generated itself into essential commodity. As I said when I started, there are four essentials of life nowadays: food,
True. True.
water, shelter, and
Right.
net. So Geo has perfectly launched himself into such a category of a necessity of human life, which can never be end. It can only grow. So that's how I see it's a fabulous business for me as a learning. If I have to start as an entrepreneur business, I will do into a recession-proof business. The next is pharma, because our body will fall sick and will require medicines.
Right.
So most of the youngest are, should target in their initial days when they want to learn, especially into a commodity. They don't have to see. Everybody will not get an opportunity. Everybody might not get a possibility, but there is no harm to dream and try. So try for 6 companies which I named, which have benefited, as you told one of them, that increased pay hikes. So everybody would love to join these companies. So 6 industries, specifically is your FMCG, your pharma,
Right.
e-commerce, your coal, your transport, and sixth is most important is in terms of your other essential products, which,
Right.
you know, apart from food, non-food products essentials. These 6 industries you should target initially at your career. And anytime in your career, if you get these, neither recession will impact them, neither pandemic will impact them, neither any natural calamity will impact them. So
Right.
these industries will secure your career, and you know, that's how the good. This is my learning from Geo.
Right.
Seeing this business and handle them closely, this is my learning. To join
Right.
some business which is recession proof.
Right. So that's a wonderful explanation that will definitely going to be helpful for the newcomers and freshers actually to take a career decision. So, you know, coming back to, as we are, you know, the representing an MBA institute, so there are a few questions from the student side. So I have jotted down few questions. So one of the question is, if a hotel management graduate who has completed now MBA in marketing and HR, now which industry they should first prefer? I mean, should that particular student go for hotel industry or some other industry, which is better for him?
Uh, I just flashback. I went to my old days of IHM when I completed my IHM and then MBA from IMT Ghaziabad. One thing after 12 years, Amitabh, I would like to share with you and all the students. It is not about choices we make. It is about the opportunities we get.
Right.
Nowadays, and now the scenario after COVID is that we're left with very few choices. And as we say, you know, pardon my choice of words, but it is beggars are not choosers.
Right.
Rather than creating a push impact in career, I always believe to create a pull impact. So that's how it was explained in COVID. Either it is a V curve or a L curve.
Right.
So while hospitality industry, you know, when I completed my hotel management 2008, we always dreamt to go into hotels. Though our degree said from IHM Government College, it was BSc in Hotel and Hospitality Administration. We later realized after 3 years that it is not about hotels only. Hospitality industry goes into a lot of segments. Students will always find a job. There will always be a job. I repeat, nowadays also I'm seeing consultants on the task and some companies are recruiting. There will be no dearth of jobs, especially in India. There will be plethora of jobs. But the idea is, are we capable enough? How do we become capable is most importantly which a student should focus upon. Which can be also embedded that what are the skill sets required for a student by which he can excel himself so that you know, recruiters follow him for job, or if he cracks one single interview, they select him. So there are 3 steps to it, and which are the analogies which I follow still now. One is network is your net worth.
Right.
Using social media, especially Facebook and LinkedIn and WhatsApp, while you gain a lot of knowledge, also it is important that you build up your network in the field where you want to take a job. If you have network, you don't have to worry. Before the start of lockdown, I was a bit worried, you know, what will happen if something. Now I am very relaxed because in this 60 days, I have reached out to almost 1,500 odd people who are CHROs of this company, of different companies in India. And, you know, I have established a rapport with them. Relationships can be broken, not connections. That's how in LinkedIn it says it connections, not relationships. So social media gives you the platform to build up relationships. Leverage on that and use social media so that it benefits you in professional career by reaching out to people for gaining information. Second important skill which students should do is KSA, knowledge, skill, attitude.
Right.
No, the more you acquire, you know, believe that you are a brand itself. If I say brand Amitabh, brand Ashish, we are a brand itself. If we don't consider ourselves to be a brand, the entire, it will boil down and it will result your commons.
True.
How do you become special in your eyes? The more you invest upon yourself, the more confident you become. And that's how the more success comes. Success does not come that anybody will give you something and it will come. What you expect, you know, we are here, both of us are talking today. It's just not because we got opportunities or we had the capabilities. It's about our aspiration. You aspired to be here, that is why you are here. I aspire to be there. If my aspiration goes higher, I will work towards that aspiration. And third important is 3 C's: connect, communication, and conduct. So while we establish with people, we communicate with them. Does not in silos that you have a WhatsApp number saved and you don't talk to years, months goes by and you don't talk to them. That how it will not develop. And third is your conduct. Using social media to establish a positive conduct amongst the industry is very important. So students, any stream, either it hospitality or engineering or MBA, they don't need to worry about what opportunities will they get. Opportunities they will create if they have confidence. Rather than looking out for opportunities in Naukri, create opportunities, post relevant in LinkedIn, tag people and post, reach out to people, send them connection requests, speak to them. If we sit idle and say college will do to us or Naukri recruiter will call us, we are not in a euphoria, honestly. Whatever effort do we put, law of universe says that equal, you will get it back. So your little effort, you need to be smart working rather than hard working. That is also very important.
True.
So these are the 3 mantras which I would like to give to all genre of students. You don't need to worry about job. You are well equipped than us, more technology savvy, more knowledgeable, more confident. You have the best of education. You have got the best of PDP classes, and you have such a good helping hand in terms of your TPOs. They are day and night working for you. You need to worry is that what is in you, how you are different from 100 people. What have you done? What knowledge have you gained? Are you able to express when the opportunity comes? Are you able to communicate properly? Are you able to know what properly? Are you not a dumb? So reflect upon your attributes rather than opportunities, because even if you get an opportunity, if you're not able to crack, that is a waste of an opportunity.
Right. So thank you so much for a great motivation for the students actually. So that's a very nice learning for me as well. That is the 3 steps of your networking, your this KSA model and the 3C concept. So that is definitely going to help all the greater community, not only our students. And thank you so much for that clarification and the explanation. That is wonderful. And another typical question actually, one of the students bring out that if the students are having some gap in education specifically, I'm just giving a specific example. That particular student have completed his 10+2 in 2012, then he started his graduation in 2016, so that means there is a 4 years gap. Then there is a continuous, then completed his graduation in 2019, now completing his MBA in 2021. Now at the time of now he's not having any experience also, due to some family reason he has not been able to complete the graduation during that period of time. So being a hiring manager, so how do you see that? There is a gap, so that means the candidate is not good or something like that. How do you treat this kind of situation, or what should be the best way to overcome or handle the question at the time of interview?
It's a deja vu, because in the afternoon I got a call from some student and he was asking for career counseling on the same question.
Okay.
See, I have a contrast answer to it. What I gave to him, I will also narrate to other students. As a hiring manager, yes, I see. If I have options, if we go to a market and we go to a supermarket, just imagine, it's everybody, as I said, we are brand and we are sales, we are products, and recruiters are the buyers for us. And that is why we put a price tag and we negotiate. Otherwise, if we would have been doing philanthropy, we will not have a price tag and negotiate. Neither we would have changed companies after every couple of years. So one thing is very important, that as a recruiter, yes, I have 100 students or maybe 50 students who are appearing for campus interviews, and I have somebody who has very good academics. I will definitely hire him, or maybe not hire him, but definitely have a cutting edge, a special preference towards that person. And if the elimination round comes, this can be a point of elimination. But nowadays, recruiters, especially the HR managers, when I go to colleges, I don't see that point, because for me, the industry which I come from is very important. If I am hiring for the hospitality industry, my focus will be what is your interpersonal skill? What are your behavioral skills? Are you able to impress me with your knowledge and your attitude? Because in that industry, education does not play a very important part. When it comes to engineering or pharma, yes, I will look out for people who are meticulous, have a better, no gap in their education. But on a contrast, I also want to say, we all have seen Three Idiots, and engineering students, especially, that is one of their all-time favorite benchmark movies. How they, project. The role of Sharman Joshi is also very important. Where he had a etiquette, he had a bad, he had a bad education life. But it all depends. One is very important: is what opportunities have you got, how you have presented the knowledge, and second is what industry are you applying. So people who are skeptical, if you have asked these questions on that, for me, the sign of this question itself is a psychological factor of the elimination in the interview.
Right, true.
If you think that I will not be the one, you are not the one. जब इंटरव्यू में हम लोग जाते हैं और যখন আমরা ইন্টারভিউতে যাই, আমি just using because people should know that I can speak both the languages. I'm a born and brought up of Calcutta. So for the larger audience, যখন আমরা ইন্টারভিউতে যাই, especially the people who might not be able to relate to English, তখন আমরা যদি এটা ভেবে যাই কি আমরা পাবো না, তাহলে আমরা কোনোদিনও পাবো না।
True.
So the most important thing is to keep your positivity very high, that I can do it. ऐसी आपके लिए खोने के लिए कुछ नहीं है. You have nothing to lose. If you don't get through campus, there are walk-ins. If no walk-ins, there are further studies. If no further studies, there are abroad studies. If no, then father's business. If no, you become an entrepreneur. Unlike us, students accept, most of the students, especially in Calcutta, take education loan. They have, come from very lower middle class family, and most of them have, liability in terms of to give back to their parents and make a life for themselves after education. But remember, Youngistan, I always tell, don't get bogged down. Today, if I reflect back as one of them, I always tell my students and the colleges which I go, when I passed out, I had a loan, I had ailing family, I had to support them. I could not enjoy life. Please, whatever you do not get stressed of anything. Water will find its way. You will find your success because you will have education. And if you are persistent, see, you have to put effort. Let us all agree, we all have to put effort in whatever fields we are. Right. So there are two choices: the effort with happiness or without happiness. With happiness, you will at least learn something. You will fail and you will try again. Without happiness, you will be grunted, you will feel disappointed, you will feel demotivated, and at the end of a time, you will not even try. So I feel happy to be part of, with my family, that it was a lower middle class family, and that I got that opportunity to at least struggle and advise. Hardly 1% of the entire population is born with a silver and a platinum and a golden spoon, so called in quoted remarks. Right. But does that give us the privilege that we cannot do it? No, we can't do it. We can do it and we need to do it. This is just a positive mindset. When I passed out, recession was there. There was no jobs at that time, unfortunately. But I got to that campus through different sources. It is just that we can do it. Any student should not feel ki amar jodi gap tha ki ami pabo na. It is absolutely wrong. Your attitude will reflect your job, not your education. If education would have been there, then I don't think except IIMs and IITs, any other college would have been there.
Right, true. Right.
Everything is possible and everything is there because it has a reason.
Right.
If you explain good reason to a recruiter, if he asks this question and you are positive and you are not stressed about this question, absolutely okay. If people say, they ask me a question when I appeared for my campus interview that every 2 years you change a job. Every 2 years, this is my fifth, 12 years and fifth company. I say I never join a company to resign. I was in government employee, I left. I was Tata employee, I left. I was Reliance employee, I left. I was Qatar Airways employee, I left. Nobody joins the company to leave. It is your aspiration at point of a time How do you coincide with the opportunities? So I aspired to be ahead. I had not aspired, I would have been an IRCTC employee in one of the stations, deployed and taking the catering services, either running the Rajdhani or Duronto Express.
True.
So, guys, I urge all of you two important things. One, not to stress yourself and enjoy life. It is the most beautiful gift of God, and be happy, always smiling. And hospitality industry says service with a smile. And second important thing, at any given point of time, don't stop aspiring. Aspiration to stop is equivalent to death. Then you are stagnated with the growth. When you look into teachers, most of the teachers, I feel so respected for them. They all aspire, but they have a selfless aspire for the students. So there are three kinds of people in this world. One is selfish, selfless, and self-centered.
True.
I always believe professionals should be self-centered. Bhagwan sabka bhala kare, par shuruaat humse kare. So keep aspiring and be happy.
Right. Thank you so much, Ashish, that we are actually at the end of this Zoom session of 40 minutes. So we are just about to complete the session. Probably automatically it will be closing. So before that, I'd like to thank you so much for attending the session and helping our students and the greater community by sharing with your experiences. So that's a very good benefit for us actually. And thank you for sharing all of your experiences with the students. And
Thank you so much,
to be a part
Amitabh.
of
It
this
was wonderful to have you and speak to you directly. You are a great human being and a great individual, keeping everybody motivated all the time. And I feel all the students will have a great life. I wish them all the best and God bless everybody.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thanks.